Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector. We'll get started on our next multiplayer matchup. We're playing the Settlement. It's a strategic command, 2,000 point objective. The opponent is playing as the Necrons, and I'm playing as the Blood Angels. There's no turn timer, unlimited turn limit, and we are doing an 80-point match out here. Alright, so I have the Lieutenant, 2 Sanguinary Priests, 2 Terminators with the Thunderhammers, 2 Sanguinary Guards with the X-Carnine Axe, and 1, 2, 3, 4 Assault Squads and 2 Predator Balls. So we have 5 points remaining. I'm going to run this guy over here to capture this point. I may have to just concede this left side here, and I think I'm going to push over here to try to get some jump infantry going to be able to get in there. The question is what force selection does he have, so we don't end up getting our assault squads just totally destroyed when they're trying to jump in to combat here. So we'll see what we can do. I'm just kind of pushing forward here. It's like I could get them all the way down there, but I'm not sure it really makes a lot of sense because we know the Necrons are going to have a ton of forces with a lot of mobility, and here we see that. They've already got the Tomb Blades over here. So it's like I expect he's going to be running over here to try and capture that point. So it's like I'll just hold back here, let him move into us, and then we'll go from there. Now I'm just trying to decide how far do I want to push this. And it's like, let's just run the Lieutenant down here, shoot a hole in the wall. And then we'll want to have him somewhat over here so we can end up buffing the amount of momentum we can get. And we'll run this guy down here, so hopefully we'll be able to capture that point.
The Emperor's will lives through us.
And just kind of stacking these guys up and trying to decide, do I bring the Terminators over here to help siege and attack all these Tomb Blades or not? And it's like, it looks like they all have the particle beam, so that shouldn't be too bad.
My duty is service.
And it's like, well, maybe instead of conceding this left side, I'll just send the strike force over here like we had originally planned. So I'm just trying to stack them up in a way that they'll be able to get buffed and be able to do charge attacks. So it's like if I have the Terminators here, they should be able to warp into the middle. So I think that's kind of the best of both worlds here. And if the Tomb Blades move up and start shooting around the corner there, it should hit the Terminators and it shouldn't really be able to do much damage. So I think that's probably as good as we can do at this point in time. So we'll see how aggressive he plays and if he falls into my trap here. Because if I can take out those Tomb Blades and really slow his movement, that's kind of like our first opportunity to limit his momentum, or not his capture ability, and then we just have to worry about the Scarab Swarms.
I await their mistake.
So 5 to 5. And he does end up bringing these guys all the way up here to capture the points. But the points are given during my turn. So I don't know if it makes a ton of sense for him to rush these guys straight up here, because as you can see, he's putting all these shots into my Predator tank. But the Tomb Blades don't really do a lot of damage to him. Now those guys will. And luckily only one of them lands a hit. And he's got the Annihilation Barge here, which also will do a lot of damage. Luckily only got about a 50% shot. He's got some death marks here, which will definitely do some good damage. And it looks like he's got Scarab Swarms moving up on the right side of the map here. So he's capturing that point, so now it's 4 to 1 in his favor. But we should be able to reverse this pretty substantially. I think you can make an argument because when you're fighting the Necrons that you know they're going to likely have Scarab Swarms. So perhaps using the flame pistols on a couple of Assault Marines to help you just clear those out may not be a bad idea. But generally I don't recommend doing flame pistols. Alright, so he's got another set of death marks there, and they just use their Assassinate. And now he's got these guys here. Interestingly, I didn't see him attack. Maybe he did and I just missed it.
I am the sword of Sanguinius.
Alright, let's buff the melee. It's like I can give tactical precision. It's like, let's just do momentum instead. And it's like, do I end up... How aggressive do I want to be here? That is the question.
The blood of Sanguinius flows in my veins.
It's like I can charge those guys, I can also charge over here as well.
We are just and righteous before the eyes of the
Give
Emperor.
that to the Sanguinary Guard.
To the sky, brothers.
So the question is who do I want to charge in first to get these attacks? And it's like,
When the day's darkest, we
I kind of feel like I should run in with the Terminators there. It's like I can run down with the Predator here and probably kill those guys, but I need to worry about the Overwatch because I want to jump a bunch of guys in. So I'm like, maybe if I come in here, shoot this guy down. That killed one of the models. I run him down here, I can soak up some of this Overwatch, and I can then use him to attack these Tomb Blades or the Annihilation Barge. And it's like, alright, so he doesn't have a bunch Overwatch there, so I should be able to jump into him. So it's like, that's not terrible. Now I can kind of see what's going on there.
We are the defenders of Val.
It's like, I gotta clear out these Tomb Blades here. That wasn't terrible. So the question is do I shoot with that and try to take them out or not? And it's like, oh, they're full health. That's going to be a hard kill.
The Emperor's will lives.
It's like, I'm pretty sure I want to take out this Annihilation Barge, and I'm not going to be able to do that from range. So we'll run over here, and then I can melee him from a rear attack, which should give me some bonus damage, and I can see his Overlord hiding back there as well. So that's nice, so now that's down to 26 health. And I can probably run away before it blows up. So it's like, if I run you up here, I can probably lob a grenade over there, I'm thinking.
Heavy armor, awaiting your orders.
So it's like, let's see if I can luck out and kill this Tomb Blade, but I'm not expecting a whole lot. Like, even in best case scenario, yep, so I couldn't do it. So it's like I can jump. So the question is do I want to do that or not?
There is little left in this universe that I have not witnessed.
Because it's like he's got several guys that are ready to die.
On Balfora, I will die.
We'll jump into here. Guarantee I get the kill. And then it also allows me to control that spot. I can run down here and whip this grenade. But I'm going to pull back the Terminators, and then he can be one step closer to attacking the Overlord. So we got those guys here. Now I'd like to clear out those guys here, and I also want to lock them down into melee. So it's like, maybe if I jump up here, you'll be able to get the kill. And that in fact does happen. So now it's like I want to pull you back to keep you alive.
Of course.
And I also want to be able to hide you a little bit so those Locust Heavy Destroyers don't kill you. So I'll try to put you over here so the hill's kind of in your way. It's like I can charge you forward, or
ready to help.
it's like, well, I'm not quite sure what I want to do yet. It's like I've got all these guys, I can warp him down, and then he can attack the, I forget what they're called, the dual pistol guy there. Hexmark Destroyer. I was worried if I charged that he would get the reaction fire and suppress them, so it's just like we'll smack him here. And that did decent enough damage. I was actually kind of hoping you were going to one-shot him. And it's like, alright, you're here, so I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to get the kill then. And I do, but unfortunately by taking that spot, they then got shot, and then they had, because I gave the bonus damage, they took extra range damage there.
Assault Marines ready.
And now it's like, well, what am I going to do over here? It's like I can keep jumping, but then everything's pretty much out of range, except for these guys. But do I want to commit over here? It's like, well, maybe if I charge here, I can knock the scarabs off. So I end up trying that. Luckily that did overwhelm them, so then we were able to take this spot too. So I'm like, alright, now I'm feeling pretty good. So now it's 3-2. And then it's like, do I jump you down to keep attacking here? But then I'm gonna definitely lose the left side if I do that.
Victory for the Bloodblades.
It's like, let's just run you down here. Let's run you here to try to decrease their accuracy, so hopefully he doesn't kill my lieutenant here, but he very well could. It's like I want to keep him going, but I also, like I said, want to lock as many guys down as I can. So it's like, alright, I've now taken care of all that overwatch. I can definitely kill these tomb blades here. And take that point. It's like I kind of hate to sacrifice them here, but I can get quite a bit in my favor if I do this. So it's like, well, maybe we can get lucky and get the extra AP here, although it's only a 25% chance. I thought it was worth a shot. But it did not happen. So we got that here. So now the question is do I advance or keep him on the spot? I ended up keeping him there because I don't want him just to outmaneuver me and get that point back, because he's going to definitely have enough to summon more scarabs here. It's like, well, I can run you here, but that's a pretty large distance. Or I can just jump over here and get a regular attack. That's what I decided to do, and it's like, let's shoot into these guys, hopefully get a bunch of kills. Unfortunately, it was only 15 momentum that I gained back. It's like, alright, we'll pull them back so we can start attacking the spot there. And I was like, well, let's just move the Sanguinary Priest down here. So hopefully he'll be able to get some heals. And they decided here, it's like, do we hide in the corner or not? And I'm like, yeah, let's hide in the corner here. So if he wants to move up, he'd have to come into this area to get a bunch of shots on me. And again, it's like, am I going to hide him? Do I keep him there? I keep going back and forth. It's like, well, points are on my turn, so we'll pull him away. There's no reason to let him easily kill me, and then I can try to capture the point back. So now it's 25-10. He uses his 2 AP to summon another set of warriors. These guys are charging in there. He smacks them back. Now, thankfully, he regular attacked me like that, so now I was able to do quite a bit of damage to the scarabs and actually killed one of them, whereas before that would have been hard for me to get rid of them. And because he's doing the charge attacks, they're able to charge and use their bolt pistols for the reaction fire. And then again, because he was jumping in with the jump infantry, he was still able to get charged for their bolt pistols, and they got suppressed. So that's what ended up happening here. Now, unfortunately for him, he ended up using those Locust Heavy Destroyers and was shooting through the cover there, and so he had no accuracy to attack. He warps the death marks over there, and it's like, okay, well, I guess I can pretty easily kill him with my lieutenants. If he would have just attacked with those Locusts down here, I think there's a really good chance he would have been able to kill my Predator tank there, but instead of moving him so far, it's like he got the penalty for the low range, less range, and then also shooting through cover there. So thankfully that really helped me keep these guys alive. So it's like I want to take out those Locust Heavy Destroyers for sure. And then maybe he can even soak up some Overwatch here from the Immortals. Unfortunately, they did not shoot. It's like I should be able to kill at least one model there, and it didn't resurrect, so I'm like, alright, that's not too bad. And it's like he ran the Overlord, Necron Lord over here, which I don't quite understand. So it's like, alright, well, if he's gonna do that for me, I'm just gonna come over here and smack him. So it's like, alright, now I've almost halfway killed him. So that was, I'm like, I have no qualms about that. It's like, well, let's just heal the lieutenant a little bit in case he ends up getting attacked here. Because if I can lock down these death marks now that they've warped, like, that's a big deal here. Because they can be a real pain in the ass with sniping my heroes and also attacking my weakened predators. So it's like, let's try to drop them if we can. It's like, well, let's try to get some rear attacks as much as we can to try to take out these Locust Heavy Destroyers, and then next turn I'll be able to also jump with all of my assault squads, so hopefully I can kill that Overlord, unless he jumps really far. And it's like, I can't guarantee that he'll get to throw that grenade, so I'm not sure that's really the best idea. So it's like, let's run down with our Predator here. And shoot into these guys. And one gets back up, so it's like, alright, I should be able to kill him with these guys here. So let's get that going. Because once they die and resurrect once, that same model won't resurrect again. So it's like, excellent. So now I've got that locked down as well. And we're back to this situation. And it's like I really want to just keep getting momentum. It's like I got an 85% chance. I'm like, well, I should kill a bunch of models, so hopefully this will get us an extra attack. And it's like we kill a bunch, and we don't trigger the extra AP. I mean, we had like greater than the 70% chance of that happening, and we still failed it. So I was a little sad about that.
Sanguinary Guard at your disposal.
And it's like next turn he's gonna end up losing his momentum as well. So it's like, ah, gosh darn it. But we're keeping these guys alive here, and it's like I can run them down and try to lock them.
We prevail through control.
I can bring these guys over here, so I'm just trying to kind of figure out how I want to maneuver these guys. And I decide I'm going to put them over here, because then I'll be able to jump next turn. And it's like, let's just throw the grenade so I don't get the counterattack. And so it's like, alright, one model's down, so I'm already doing okay. And I bring him over to this corner here, so then he's safe from, well, he's not safe, but he's now locked down those triarchs from jumping around on me to other locations. And it's like, let's bring these guys over here. And I probably should have attacked the Immortals, but I ended up attacking the Triarchs here, because it's like I just need to stop these guys from moving around. It's like, well, I guess I'm going to take this back again. And he's dead. And he doesn't resurrect, so it's like, well, we can move you up. We can capture this again. And then I've now got enough points here that I can attack, so it's like, let's kill these guys, I guess. And almost wipe out that squad. So it's like, alright, that's not terrible. And just kind of turning him so he locks multiple guys down. And I still have 1 AP to do the command points here, so it's like, oh man, is there some way I can go through here and attack these guys? And I see that I can, so it's like, alright, I should be able to kill those Immortals now. it's like 2 resurrects. I'm like, damn, that kind of sucked. And I'm going to pull the Sanguinary Priest back, so hopefully he won't be dropping scarabs on him and getting killed. So now we've got all these guys here, but I'm like, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Heavy armor, awaiting your orders.
And it's 45 to 15. So he drops scarabs on me. Now, I don't think he knows that you can, when you drop those scarabs, you actually want to select a unit to drop them on, because they get an extra attack when you do it that way. So he just dropped it on open territory. So when you do it like he did, he just lost out on 2 free charge attacks, and then they get to go again. So he definitely would have killed these assault marines had he done that, and he definitely would have interfered with my ability to capture this left side. Because now with all these regular attacks, you know, he's doing a bunch of damage, but it's like they're all still alive here. Not for very much longer, but he could have used that attack to really start killing the Sanguinary Guard, or the Sanguinary Priest here. So, just a little feedback on that move there, because that definitely was suboptimal. He's trying to pull away with his death marks there. But it was unsuccessful. So in exchange, he allowed me to only have to worry about 1 model, which I can now easily kill. So now those death marks are down, so I don't have to worry about them using the warp gate on me anymore. And it's like I've got my Predator here, who's almost ready to have a bunch of extra attacks. So it's like, we'll run you down here. Now he ended up warping the Overlord away, which was smart. But it's like, he's within jump range here. So it's like, let's kill him, because once he's dead, he's got no other units that can be HQ commanders. And that now weaken the rest of his forces, because they're not getting the buffs from the Overlord there. So it's like, now I should be able to kill all this squad of warriors here, which I do, and I now have enough points to attack again. So it's like, let's take out these immortals.
I am ready to help.
And we've got this going. So it's like I could just strafe in here.
Assault terminators, ready for action.
But I was like, well, let's attack with these guys and see if he resurrects or not, because then they'll get the kill. But they didn't resurrect, so now I'm like, shit. Like, if that would have been the case, I've just wasted their attack.
We prevail through control.
So it's like, let's come over here and hopefully we can take out those 2 squads, which we do. And now there's just the death marks here and that other squad.
I go where I am needed.
So it's like, let's start moving him up here. And it's like, if I move you over here, I should be able to get the momentum. And now he's ready. So let's move him down this way. And because of all that momentum, he should have increased chances of hitting. So it's like, we'll attack into him. And we'll attack here. And you got a bunch of crits by doing that. We'll surge. He's been taken out. And I thought, oh, these guys will be able to kill these guys for sure. Right? It's just 2 models. So that shouldn't be hard. But I don't know what happened there. But they did like abysmal damage.
Their death is our only option.
I mean, he did resurrect, so it wasn't the end of the world, but I was quite surprised he didn't get the kill.
Close combat support.
And now it's pretty much just kind of maneuvering our units here to be able to take out his forces.
We are the lords of the assault doctrine.
It's like, well, let's just charge over here and attack. And he's down. So now it's just everybody run to the right.
For Sanguinius.
It's like, well, let's do this and jump into those Priarchs to try to kill them. And we drop one model. Wasn't great. And I still have this guy, so I end up attacking the Scarabs, but, you know, 2 are resurrecting every turn. So that was not great. And it's like, I'll just pull you back, I guess, because I don't want everybody to gang up on them. Even though it's pretty obvious that we're going to win. So it's like, well, just hold you over here. I don't think the Scarabs are going to be able to cross the building there to get the kill, but I just don't want to chance it. Not that it's likely that I'm going to lose this. So, but I do end up pulling back the Sanguinary Priest here.
My duty is service. The Emperor's will lives through us. Speed to match our fury. Assault Marines ready.
Alright, so now it's 60 to 25. And he is focusing on killing my Sanguinary Priest here, or Sanguinary Guard. Man, I keep screwing those 2 up. And charges down. Other one charges, gets a kill.
Victory for the Bloodblades. Victory for Skyfall.
The sanguinary priesthood serves the will of the
It's like I don't have enough to strafe them, unfortunately. So it's like, let's run the Terminators over here. We'll run our Predator over this way. And hopefully he'll be able to get at least some shots into these Scarab Swarms. He does kill all of them, so 1 resurrects, so then the Terminators can kill those guys. So those guys are out of commission. And unfortunately, everybody still got their jetpacks on cooldown.
There is little left in this
So it's like, well, let's run you guys over this way so you can capture that point next turn if we're still playing at that time. And now it's just trying to figure out where I want to move the assault squad to. It's like I'm going to end up just throwing some grenades, so we'll do this here. Try to take out the Priarchs. And 1 died.
Sanguinary Guard at your disposal.
It's like, let's run you down this way. And then have them shoot into the swarms, and hopefully this time we'll get some extra AP triggered. And we do. So it's like, alright, and by now, hopefully, we have enough. But we don't. We're like literally 1 point away. And it's like, oh shit. Building is still blocking your...
Ready for action.
line of sight, so he's not able to chuck a grenade. And then they're still out of range, so it's like, let's just move them forward.
I am the sword of Sanguinius.
It's like, he's out of range, so can't do that. I figured that was probably going to be a pretty far distance.
On Balfora I was born, and should the Emperor win it, on Balfora I will die.
But I thought maybe with the surge and everything else it would help you, but that is not the case. So we got that, and we'll run him up here. And now, hopefully, by giving the momentums with doing these things, that should push me push me through, and it was. So it's like, alright, well, let's just shoot these guys then. And we took out the Scarab Swarm.
My duty is service.
And all I've got to do is take this 1 point, and I will get enough points at the end of this turn to bring this match to a close.
My chainsaw
So I'm just
thirsts
running
for
them
that.
down. Smack them there. No resurrection.
When the day
Move
is
up
darkest,
one.
we prevail through control.
And point is captured. So now I am guaranteed to get the win at the end of this turn here, since we have an 80-point target.
I am ready to help.
So just making sure everybody's moved, that there's no way I can table them here. Doesn't look like I can.
Of course.
But we're moving our guys over just in case something weird happens with the point allocation where it's not giving me the points. But otherwise, we got this on lockdown, and it's an overwhelming victory in our favor here. So, I think this is a newer player, so just kind of the feedback I give is when you're summoning the Scarab Swarms like we talked about, you want to select it on a unit. Even though it counts as a charge attack when they're being summoned in, I have never seen that actually trigger an Overwatch or reaction fire. I could be mistaken about that, but I think you were worried given that you've charged a couple of Scarabs into my units and triggered the Overwatches with the bolt pistol, so I suspect that might have been what made you squeamish about doing it on your ability. But the other potential option is that you just didn't understand that if you selected a unit, it counts as a free charge attack with those 2 Scarabs, and then another 2 attacks when you get to actually use and move them, which is why they can be so dangerous, and they can actually snipe enemy hero command units if you do it appropriately. I've lost many a game because of that, and it's very frustrating. The same thing can happen with the Space Marines when they're using the Assault Squad summoning. They get a free charge attack when they go in there, and then they can move around, use their ability to do even more melee damage and get a second attack. I don't like that mechanic myself, but that is how it works, and it allows you to kill a lot of units very powerfully. In terms of capturing the points, you know, points are allocated on my turn. I wish the game was set up in a way that you had to hold it at least for 1 turn, and that way it wasn't always in the one player's favor. That's why on tournaments they end up having mirror matches, so the favor is given to both players. But the way it is, you know, they're allocated my points, so it's more important for me to capture it on my turn than for you to capture it on yours. So I think you kind of pushed aggressively to stop me from getting those points allocated, but it kind of caused you to overextend a little bit, like with the heavy Locust Destroyer, so I was able to get in there and jump. Now you had the hex mark move up to the next to the building. The main advantage of those hex marks is, one, they can do amazing damage and a ton of to pretty much everything. You know, they have good armor piercing, they have a bunch of reaction fire because they're pistols, so by having him against the building there, it effectively stopped you from getting the Overwatch attacks from me warping in there and getting and taking him out, and then that allowed me to pretty much capture the whole center, because then I had a bunch of melee units locking down your ranged units, so a little bit of an error there. And the same with the Overlord, you know, you kind of pushed them over to the right side there. I don't really understand why you did that, because you had the Staff of Light equipped, and that's purely a ranged weapon. I mean, you can use it in melee, but it's not very good. So you allowed me to just get over there and really kill the Overlord by doing damage, and then you had to spend 1 of your AP to warp him out to be able to salvage him, but by warping him to where you did, you ended up putting him into range with my other jump infantry. And so this is why I think it's just unfair with Space Marine players on these strategic command points, is that they have so many jump infantry, they just have way too much maneuverability. I think the Assault Marines need to have some increased cost, or you need to have more restrictions on, so you can't bring so many jump infantry with you, because, you know, with the Orcs, you know, you can only have 2 or 3 Storm Boys, whereas this you can have 5, I think, of this 4 or 5 Assault Marines, and then you have the Death Companies, and you have the Sanguinary Guards, and you have the Terminators, and then your Lieutenant has a jump pack. I suppose the other options, you could just make the jump pack cooldown be like 3 turns. That might help limit their mobility a little bit, but otherwise it just feels like they're jumping all around you, and that's why a lot of these matches, like especially the settlement here, because of how the buildings are, just gives the Space Marines a huge advantage. And when you start throwing in land speeders and other highly mobile vehicles, or even their tank, which has that ability every couple turns where it gets 6 movement, it just, they have too much maneuverability, it seems like. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I don't like the Space Marines. They're by far my favorite faction, but I do think it's unfair to the other factions that they have such overwhelming power, and that's why on the tournaments so many people just play with the Blood Angels and not the other factions. So I think that's kind of the feedback I'd have, is just be a little cautious. Now, you definitely could have killed those Predator tanks with the way you were playing. It's just bad rolls, unfortunately, on multiple attacks there that allowed them to survive. The only other thing I thought was kind of weird is you warped the death marks onto my area, but you didn't have anything backing it up, so definitely that death mark was going to die. So I probably wouldn't have warped him into that area, maybe towards the center there, so then he could start assassinating my sanguinary guards and priests. So I don't quite understand why you warped them onto my side there. And then with the Tomb Blades, you know, you rushed them in there and allowed me to get those reaction fire and then slaughter quite a bit of points. So I think if you would have had those Tomb Blades back another turn, because again, you wouldn't have gotten those points allocated to you when you rushed them in there. So definitely having those back a little bit, so then when you had those other forces move up, you would have gotten more use, because then you would have been able to spend attacks attacking my assault marines, because I would have went in there to try to capture the point, and you would have done quite a bit of damage. So I think with those kind of fine points there, you would have been able to kill some of my units, and it would have been more favorable to you, and instead of the kind of the one-sided match here. But definitely, you select good forces for your force compositions and things like that, so you clearly have an understanding of the match and the game, especially with the Necrons. So that would be my feedback for you, and I think if you kind of made those little tweaks when you're doing other matches, especially against the Space Marines, things will work out much stronger in your favor. So thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. Encourage me to post more content for you. If you'd like to play a match with me, just create a game and I'll hopefully join it, or if you send me a message on YouTube, make it a private match, let me know what the password is, I'll for sure join. If you're a new player, I can give you some feedback like I'm doing with this player here, or if you're a more experienced player, disagree with some of the thoughts I have on the units when I'm uploading the guides, and you want to show me some different force compositions that you think work better, definitely let me know. But thanks for watching, and otherwise we'll hopefully have another match set up for you guys here for either next Monday or Wednesday when we're due, and I'll keep uploading my faction walkthroughs with each unit, because it seems like that I'm getting a lot of positive feedback for that. So thanks and have a great day.